Welcome back, everyone. We've got a real treat for you today.
Yeah, this one's a
Buckle up,
good one.
because we're diving headfirst into a classic Japanese short story called In a Grove.
It's by Ryūnosuke Akutagawa.
And let me tell you,
It's a doozy.
it is.
It's a murder mystery
Oh, yeah.
with a
Well,
twist.
not just one twist.
Okay, maybe more than one.
More like a whole pile of twists. We're talking samurai, secrets, and a bamboo grove that holds the key to the whole thing.
Exactly. The story throws you right into the middle of a murder investigation.
And not just any investigation.
Right.
We get to see everything unfold through the actual testimonies of the people involved.
It's like we're right there with the police commissioner, trying to piece it all together.
Trying to figure out what really happened.
And let me tell you, the testimonies, they don't exactly line up.
Oh no, not even close. Each person has their own version of the story.
And they all contradict each other.
Yeah, it makes you question everything.
It makes you wonder if anyone is actually telling the truth.
Or if everyone's just spinning their own little web of lies.
Exactly. So, before we get lost in the maze of conflicting stories,
Oh, we're definitely getting lost in there.
why don't we lay out the basic facts?
Like the groundwork, the stuff we know for sure.
Right, so what do we know? We know that a samurai named Takahiro is found dead.
Dead.
Dead, murdered actually, in a bamboo grove.
So we're already starting with a dead body.
Yeah, woodcutter stumbles across him and immediately goes to the authorities.
Classic start to a murder mystery.
And the scene, it looks like there was a struggle.
Signs of a fight.
Exactly, trampled leaves, things like that, signs of violence.
Okay, so our first witness, the woodcutter, what else does he say?
Well, his testimony is important because it paints a picture of the scene.
Like he sets the stage.
Right, he mentions finding a comb and a piece of rope.
A comb and a rope.
Yep, near the body.
Seems kind of random.
Maybe, but remember, sometimes the smallest details.
Can turn out to be huge.
Exactly, they could
Well-
be clues.
Okay, so we got a dead samurai, a mysterious comb, and a rope.
And don't forget, we also have the priest who saw Takahiro earlier that day.
Right, traveling with a woman, we're assuming his wife.
Masago, yeah. And he even remembers that their horse was a tall sorrel with a short mane.
A sorrel.
Kind of a reddish-brown horse.
Interesting. Seems like Akutagawa is really carefully setting the scene here.
Oh, he is. He's planting these little details.
I bet they'll come back later.
You can bet on it.
Okay, so we've got our scene, our witnesses, but something's missing.
Oh, yeah, the murderer.
Right. Who did it?
Well, that's where things get interesting.
Detail.
So a hootman, basically a police informant at the time, captures the notorious bandit Tajimaru.
Hooshman, that's a new one.
Yeah, think of him like someone with connections to the criminal underworld.
Like a snitch.
Kind of, yeah. They provide information to the authorities.
Okay, so this Hoshman brings in Tachimaru. Why is he a suspect?
Well, not only was he riding the same sorrel horse we heard about earlier.
The one with the short mane.
Uh-huh. But he also had Takiro's bow and arrows with him.
Busted.
And to add to the suspicion, this hootman mentions that Tajimaru has a reputation.
Not a good one, I'm guessing.
Nope, he's suspected of some pretty nasty stuff in the past.
So we've got a dead samurai, a missing wife, and a captured bandit with a bad reputation and stolen goods.
Sounds like we're getting somewhere.
Before we get to their stories, though, there's one more testimony.
Oh yeah, Masago's mother.
Right, what'd she have to say?
Well, her testimony is short, but powerful.
How so?
She confirms Takiro's identity and says he was a good man,
Okay,
and that Masago was completely devoted to him.
but Masaga's gone missing.
Right, and her mother is worried sick.
Makes sense.
So now we have a big question. If Masago was so devoted to Takahiro, why did she disappear?
Good point. It's like a giant question mark hanging over the whole case.
And now we're going to hear the answers.
Or at least 3 very different versions of them.
Get ready because things are about to get really interesting.
I'm so ready.
Buckle up. Let's do it. Because we're about to dive into the heart of this mystery.
And try to untangle the truth.
From a web of conflicting confessions.
Yeah, who knows what we'll find.
Only one way to find out.
Let's go. Okay, so we've got the scene, we've got the players, and now
Now for the good stuff.
the juicy stuff. We're about to dive into the conflicting confessions.
This is where it gets really good.
This is where In a Grove really shines, you know? It's not just a whodunit.
It's deeper than that.
It's like Akutagawa is holding up a mirror to human nature, how easily truth gets
Just,
twisted
yeah.
by our own perceptions and motivations.
Exactly. You start to see how each person's version of the truth is.
Shaped by their own experiences.
Their fears, their desires.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, can we ever really know what truly happened?
Especially when everyone has a different story.
Right. So let's start with Tajimaru, the bandit. What's his side of the story?
Well, he confesses, straight up, to killing Takahiro.
Oh, he does. So case closed.
Not so fast. He claims self-defense.
Self-defense during a duel.
Oh, exactly. According to him, he lured Takahiro into the grove.
With that fake treasure story?
Yep. Then tied him up, intending to rob him and assault Masago.
Classic bandit behavior.
Right. But here's the twist.
There's always a twist.
He claims he never planned to kill Takahiro.
Oh. So how did the duel happen?
Well, he says that after he assaulted Masago...
This is where it gets even more complicated.
Yeah, he says that Masago actually urged him to duel the samurai.
What? Why would she do that?
Well, according to Tajimaru, she promised to go with whoever won the duel.
She was going to leave her husband for this bandit.
That's what he says. He even claims he untied Takahiro before the duel.
As a gesture of what? Chivalry?
Supposedly, yeah. Trying to make himself look better, maybe.
Right, so he's shifting the blame, making it seem like he was manipulated by Masago.
And driven by a sense of honor, that whole duel thing.
But can we really trust his word? I mean, he's a confessed criminal.
Exactly. That's the big question, isn't it? Is he telling the truth or just trying to save his own skin?
Okay, so Tachimaru's story is pretty wild, but what about Masago? What does she say?
Now, her confession is completely different.
Like night and day.
Yeah, she paints a very different picture.
Okay, I'm all ears.
So she claims that after the assault, Tajimaru just ran off.
He just left her there, with her husband still tied up.
That's her story. She describes Takahiro looking at her with disgust.
I can only imagine.
It's a powerful image, right?
Yeah.
She felt so much shame.
She says she couldn't live with what happened.
And she wanted to die.
But she also wanted Takahiro to die.
Yeah, she claims they had this moment of shared understanding.
A suicide pact.
Basically, she says she stabbed him, released him from his bonds, and then tried to kill herself.
But she failed.
She did. So we have these two confessions, both claiming the other wanted Takahiro dead.
So who's lying, or are they both lying?
That's the million-dollar question. Maybe their memories are clouded by trauma.
Or guilt.
Possibly. But then we get to the most unsettling testimony of all. Takahiro.
Wait, Takahiro! But he's dead.
That's what makes this one so eerie.
You're saying we're about to hear from a ghost.
You got it.
All right, so we've heard the confessions, each one more twisted than the last.
Yeah, it's like trying to solve a puzzle where the pieces keep changing shape.
Exactly. So where do we even begin to figure out what really happened?
Well, remember those little details we talked about? Those clues scattered throughout the testimonies.
Like the comb and the rope?
Exactly. Those might be the key to unlocking the truth.
Okay, so let's play detective here. What stands out to you as the most important piece of evidence?
Tough question. But I think it's the missing sword.
Takehiro's sword. The one Tajimaru claims he threw away.
Right. It feels too convenient, you know? Like he's trying to hide something.
I see your point. What if he didn't throw it away? What if he gave it to someone else?
Like Masago.
Now that's interesting. Why would he give her the sword?
Maybe to keep her quiet. A reminder of what happened.
Or even as some kind of twisted gift.
Remember, he claims he was drawn to her.
Yeah, he even said he fell in love with her.
Right, so maybe the sword was a symbol of something.
Of their connection. Or her betrayal.
It's possible. And if Masago had the sword, it could explain Takehiro's ghostly testimony.
You mean when he said he felt someone remove the dagger from his chest?
Exactly. What if that was Masago? She could have taken the dagger and the sword.
And fled.
It's a possibility.
And it makes Masago a much more complex character.
Right, not just a helpless victim.
Okay, so the missing sword is a big clue. What about the other stuff? The rope and the comb?
I think those are important too.
Yeah.
The rope could have been used to restrain Masago.
By Tajimaru?
Maybe, or even by Takahiro.
After he found out about the assault.
Possibly. And the comb, well, it makes you think about Masago's state of mind.
Like she was trying to regain some composure?
Maybe, or it could have been planted there.
To mislead the investigators.
Who knows? That's the beauty of this story.
It's full of these little mysteries.
And it's up to us to interpret them.
To figure out how they fit into the bigger picture.
Exactly. Akutagawa doesn't give us all the answers. He wants us to think for ourselves.
To come to our own conclusions.
So, after all this, after hearing the confessions, examining the evidence, what do you think really happened?
Honestly, I don't know. It's like every time you think you've got it figured out.
Another layer gets peeled back.
Yeah, and you realize there's more to the story.
More of the characters.
The truth.
It's not about finding the one right answer. you know.
Because there might not be one.
It's about exploring the possibilities
In different perspectives.
and understanding that the truth is often subjective.
Shaped by our own biases and experiences.
In a Grove is a story that makes you think.
It challenges your assumptions.
And it sticks with you long after you've finished reading it.
So if you're looking for a story that will keep you guessing,
A story that will make you question everything you thought you knew about truth and justice.
then you need to check out In a Grove by Ryūnosuke Akutagawa.
It's a wild ride, trust me.
And that's what makes this deep dive so fascinating.
It's a journey into the heart of a mystery.
A mystery that might never be fully solved,
But that's okay.
because the journey itself is what matters.
So keep exploring, keep questioning,
And never stop searching for the truth.
even when it's hidden in the shadows.
And that's a wrap on another deep dive. Thanks for joining us.
Until next time.